Hello everyone and welcome to the online platform of Drishti IAS. So this is the Drishti learning app and we have once again a 25 question series, that is, you can say it, out of the 1000 plus PYQs. 25 more we are coming to discuss with. Okay, and it's again unit 1. So once again I welcome all of you, and we have from unit 1 we have completed 2 rounds. Why I say 2 rounds? Because 25 each from each round, and we have discussed at least 50 questions till now, 50 plus. It can be 52, 53, but it's 50 plus questions we have discussed. And this is the third round for unit 1. Okay. So by the first 2 rounds, it must be clear to you that which are the topics which are very important from unit 1. Now, if someone will ask me that after doing all this, which are the topics which are very important from unit 1, then we can say that postmodernism is important, feminism is important, even we can talk about, you can say, even the concept of ecologism, that is also very important. Okay. So let's now start once again. Now to start once again, I should tell you that this is, you can say, it's a preparation for your UGC-NET Paper-2 Political Science, and this preparation is through 1000 plus PYQs. Now 1000 plus PYQs, it's all very important, and as I said you, from the 2 rounds of unit 1, you must have understood the importance of this very course, which is launched by Drishti IAS, and it's on its online platform, that is Drishti Learning App. So let's start with the first question of round 3. Now this question, it did come in December 2022. And it's a statement based question. There are 2 statements and we have 4 options. Statement 1 and statement 2 are true. Statement 1 and statement 2 are false. 1 is true but 2 is false. 1 is false and 2 is true. Let's see what the statement 1 says. Statement 1 says that rights essentially belong to the sphere of conflicting claims. We are talking about rights. We are talking about rights. And it says rights belong to the sphere of conflicting claims between individual and the state. Conflicting claims between the individual and the state. See, from my point of view, this statement is right. Because what does the first statement refer to here? The first statement refers to that rights, they often come into play when there is a conflict between the individual freedom and the state authority. That means this particular statement, it's saying that rights come into play when there is a conflict between individual freedom and state's authority. ठीक है, individual freedom and state's authority. And this particular thing, it tries to balance these interests. That means on one side, the individuals, they want freedom, and on the other side, the state has an authority. So rights essentially belong to the sphere of conflicting claims. Now there is a conflicting claim between the individual as well as the state. The state wants to use its power, the state wants to use its authority, but on the other hand, the individuals, they want freedom. So there is a conflicting claim between the individual and the state, and that is right. ठीक है, मतलब right का मतलब that is सही. ठीक है, so we can say that this concept of right, it frequently arises in balancing these, you can say, interest. So right as a concept arises in balancing these interests. So the statement 1 is true. So this is a true statement. Now statement 2 says that any political theory which holds an individual cannot have certain rights against the state is no theory of rights. ये बोल रहा है any political theory which holds that an individual cannot have certain rights against the state is no theory of rights. Now, what is the second statement actually trying to tell? The second statement is actually expressing the idea that if a political theory does not allow individuals to hold certain rights, मतलब अगर एक political theory, it's not allowing individuals to hold certain rights, and that too against the state, ठीक है, तो it cannot be considered the proper theory of rights. So we can say that yes, this is also a right statement, ठीक है, because we can say that from the second statement point of view, हम बोल सकते हैं कि rights, they involve the ability to claim protection from states outreach. ये लाइन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. राइट्स involve the ability to claim protection from states outreach. ठीक है, ठीक है. So it is right to say that any political theory in which it is seen that the individuals are not able to enjoy certain rights, or the individuals are not able to practice certain rights against the state, then that is no theory of rights. Why? Because rights are basically the ability to claim protection from states outreach. So here statement 1 and statement 2 are true. ठीक है, that means political theory क्या है? That is every individual can enjoy या assert rights even if infringed by the state. Even if infringed by the state. Okay, so the answer is A. Now let's go to the second one. This is the books and author, not much to do with it. Now the first one is Between Past and Future. Now Between Past and Future was a book written by Hannah Arendt, and this was in 1961. I'm also writing the year if possible. It's in 1961, and this book actually deals with 8 topics of political thinking. 8 topics of political thinking. So this is a book Between Past and Future. This was a book by Hannah Arendt. ठीक है? Okay. ठीक है, हनान आर्डेंट ने इसी समय और भी बुक्स लिखा था. 63 में ही रोट द बुक ऑन ये क्या बोलते हैं रेवोल्यूशन, ऑन वायलेंस ही रोट. ठीक है, 1970s में. So this is a book which was written by Hannah Arendt. Then comes Vico and Herder. Now the Vico and Herder, I can say you that they were two, you can say, philosophers. So Vico and Herder, two studies in the history of ideas. This is by Asia Berlin. ठीक है, it's two studies in the history of ideas. ठीक है, two studies in the history of ideas, and this is with regard to the philosophical ideas of Vico, philosophical ideas of Vico and Herder. ठीक है, and this was in 1976. ठीक है, then comes The Voice of Liberal Learning. The Voice of Liberal Learning. Now this was by Michelle Oakeshott. It was by Michelle Oakeshott, and it's in 1989. This was a book which was talking about what was wrong with education in America. What was wrong with education in America. So, The Voice of Liberal Learning, Michelle Oakeshott, 1989. And finally, The Tyranny of Merit, The Tyranny of Merit. It was written by Michelle J. Sandel, 2020. The Tyranny of Merit. Michelle J. Standard. This is 2020. ठीक है? So it's A is 2, B is 1, C is 4, and D is 3. 2143. 2143. So the answer is B. Next question. That is the third one. This is also books and author. ठीक है? Books and author. Now the first one, political change in underdeveloped countries, nationalism and communism. Now this was a book which was written by John H. Kautsky. John H. Kautsky. Basically हम बोल सकते हैं he was talking about the political change in underdeveloped countries, nationalism, communism and development. John H. Kautsky. And this book he wrote in 1962. John H. Kautsky ने ये बुक 1962 में तुम्हारा लिखा. Then the second one is political development. It's C.H. Dodd. C.H. Dodd. It's 1972 में ये बुक लिखा. C.H. Dodd ने. ठीक है? Then it's the politics of modernization. ये जो politics of modernization है, it's by David Apter. Politics of modernization, David Apter, 1968. David Apter ने ये बुक लिखा था. Politics of modernization. And Tradition, Change and Modernity is written by S.N. Eisenstadt. S.N. Eisenstadt, it's 1973. थोड़ा सा pronunciation आपको दिक्कत लगेगा, but it's E silent है, Eisenstadt. S.N. Eisenstadt, 1973. So, जो political change in underdeveloped countries है, this was written by Kautsky. ठीक है? So it's 4. B is political development. It's written by Dodd. C.H. Dodd. That is 3. ठीक है? And the C part, it's the politics of modernization. It's written by Apter. That is 1. And D part, that is tradition, change and modernity. It's written by S.N. Eisenstadt. That is 2. So the match is 4-3-1-2. 4-3-1-2. So the D answer is right. 4-3-1-2. Okay. Now, next comes with regard to liberalism. We all know liberalism is something which talks about individual freedom, है ना? And basically it's a flexible concept, it's a dynamic concept, ठीक है? And we can say that this this idea of liberalism, right from its inception, it is changing continuously. And as I say, it is changing continuously, it means that liberalism as an idea, it is adding in itself something or the other, and at the same time, it is discarding the others also. So, when we talk about liberalism, it is a word liber, which means free. Liber एक word होता है जिसका मतलब होता है free. So here it is all with regard to individual freedom. So that's why I said that it's dynamic concept, it's flexible concept, and right from its inception it is changing, because you can see that the conditions around the world is changing, individual you can say जो भी individual की एक want है, that is changing. So it is adding on some of the other thing, and at the same time it's discarding the others. अब अगर हम बात करें liberalism का, तो in liberalism 3 levels पे we can see liberalism. One is social level, the other one is economic level, and the third one is political level. So at social level, देखो, I am not going for the options, I am just trying to make you understand. At social level, liberalism stands for secularism. Secularism means you have the freedom to practice, profess, propagate any religion you want. So in social level, it stands for secularism. It stands for freedom in relation to religion and morality. ठीक है? So हम बोल सकते हैं कि social level में it stands for secularism, comma, freedom in relation to religion and morality. Freedom in relation to religion and morality. Plus, in social level, liberalism also gives importance to the value of free conscious, it gives to the value of free individual conscious. Free individual conscious का मतलब whatever capacity an individual has, in that capacity the individual is free with regard to self-explanation. That means the individual must have no restrictions when it comes to the development of his or her personality. तो यही है कि social में also refers to the value of free individual conscious, free individual conscious free individual conscious of his capacity of self expression and unrestricted development of personality. That means यहां पे दो तीन चीजें हैं which is very important. One, it stands for secularism. Second, freedom in to religion and morality. That is freedom in relation to religion and morality. Plus, it also talks about the value of free individual conscious of his capacity of self-expression. That means every individual is free of self-expression. That means the individual must know his or her capacity. They must be conscious. Conscious का मतलब they must be aware of their capacity of self-expression, and accordingly they must also have unrestricted development of their personality. ये है तुम्हारा social level में liberalism. Now when we talk about economic level, तो economic level में liberalism basically it stands for market free economy. That means it stands for the idea of free trade, and that too with internal freedom of production. ठीक है, idea of free trade along with internal freedom of production. Internal freedom of production. ठीक है, सो इकोनॉमिक लेवल में दिस इज, दैट इज इन शॉर्ट हम बोल सकते हैं फ्री मार्केट इकोनॉमी with no trade and tariff barrier. No trade and tariff barrier. So that is what is economic level liberalism. और political level में liberalism is you have political rights. So in political level, what is liberalism? Political level, liberalism stands for political freedom, or you can call it as political liberty. Plus it stands for right to property. It also stands for constitutionalism. That is constitutional limited government को वो stand करता है. That means the government's authority or power must not be unlimited. It must be restricted by the constitution. Constitution limited government का मतलब government's power must be restricted by the constitution. Plus it also talks about protection of rights of individuals. ठीक है, and it also talks about anti-authoritarianism. So political level में liberalism क्या क्या होता है? Political liberty, political liberty का मतलब राइट टू वोट हो गया. इसके अलावा राइट टू प्रॉपर्टी, इसके अलावा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लिमिटेड गवर्नमेंट, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लिमिटेड गवर्नमेंट, एंटी authoritarianism, anti-authoritarianism, and protection of rights of individuals. Okay, so this is what is liberalism. From social, economic and political level, I tell you. So here, which of the following are the elements of liberalism? Individual should have the right to develop his or her own personality. Now ये social level का है, ये social level है. This is social level. Man is a rational creature. Now when I say man is a rational creature, तो यहां पे ये कौन सा लेवल का हो गया? Man is a rational creature. Now that is also with regard to social. Then society should not be plural. Galat. It's talking about society to be plural and it believes in constitutionalism. Constitutionalism का मतलब limited government. ठीक है? और man is a rational creature का मतलब man is free to do whatever he wants to do according to his need. तो ये हम economic भी बोल सकते हैं इसको. So rational का मतलब the man as an or individual, he or she very well know their wants, very well know their urgent wants, and as per they spend their income. So that is what they are free with that. So it's 1, 2 and 4. So 1, 2 and 4. So the D part of the answer is right. और अगर कुछ liberal scholars की बात करोगे तो John Locke is one of the liberal scholars, Montesquieu is one of the liberal scholars, Rousseau, Voltaire and even John Rawls, they are the liberal scholars. ठीक है, चलो, ठीक है. So we go with the next question. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next question. Who among the following envisaged liberal democracy as a political apparatus would ensure the accountability of the governors to the governed? Accountability का मतलब क्या हो गया? Accountability is nothing else but it is what? It is answerability. अकाउंटेबिलिटी का मतलब यहां पे आंसरेबिलिटी है. इज इट जॉन स्टुअर्ट मिल, इज इट जॉन लॉकी, जर्मी बेंथम और जीन जैकियस रूसियो? द आंसर टू दिस इज जर्मी बेंथम. Now, who among the following envisaged liberal democracy? Now, we all know that Bentham came up with the theory of democracy, and in that theory of democracy, he is trying to bring a link between the utility and popular rural. ठीक है, plus it's मतलब it is his suggestion that the legislature should be limited and the executive power should also be limited by giving additional authority to the electoral body. ठीक है, so here we can talk about Bentham's theory of democracy. ठीक है, it's Bentham's theory of democracy. ठीक है, it's a link between the मतलब ये जो theory of democracy है, it's a link between the utility and popular ruler. Utility and popular ruler. Also, he talks about limiting the power of legislature and executive by giving authority to the electoral body. Giving authority to the electoral body matlab the people. The people must be having the authority. Plus, he also talks about, matlab, Bentham, he is a strong of popular sovereignty. He is a strong proponent of popular sovereignty plus representative government. Representative government means the real power is with the people. ठीक है? ठीक है? So it's Bentham. So we should all know that it was Bentham who came up with all this. ठीक है? ठीक है? So when we are talking about this answer, yes, we talk about liberal democracy. Now, liberal democracy, in it, he talks about the link between the utility and popular ruler. Plus, he's also giving a suggestion to limit the power of the legislature as well as the executive by giving additional authority. By giving additional authority to the electoral body. ठीक है? Plus, he is a strong proponent of, or you can say staunch proponents of popular sovereignty, and he also believes in representative government. He says that it is the only system of government that is compatible with its utilitarianism. ठीक है? Only form of government which is compatible with its utilitarianism. ठीक है? ठीक है. So that's why we can say that Bentham, he came up with liberal democracy as a political apparatus, and this liberal democracy, it would ensure accountability. Accountability means answerability of the government, of the governors to the governed. ठीक है. That means every ruler is accountable to the people for whatever they are doing. Next question. Now it's again a statement based question. Now in this statement based question, here the word ecology is derived from the Greek word okios. Yes, that is right. It's derived from the Greek word okios and it means learning about. इसका मतलब होता है okios means learning about. ठीक है. okios means learning about. ठीक है. और यहां पे हम बोल सकते हैं, ठीक है, एक मिनट. Now here there are two words. It's eco plus logy. Logy जो होता है, it means learning about, and eco is also, and eco means home. ठीक है. इको का मतलब क्या हो जाएगा? होम. ठीक है. So we can say that the work ecology refers to knowing how population functions. ठीक है. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? It refers to how the population functions. So this is a right statement. It's coming from the Greek word okios. ठीक है. eco जो है वो ग्रीक वर्ड okios से मिलता है, जिसका मतलब होता है home, and logy, it means what? It means learning about. So basically ecology is nothing else but knowing about how population, it refers to knowing about how the population functions. Next statement है, next statement is Norwegian philosopher Ernie Næss divided ecologism into shallow and deep ecology. That means he divided ecologism to shallow and deep ecology. Now, when we talk about this, हमें ये पता चलता है कि the second statement, it is also right, because when we talk about Norwegian philosopher Ernie Næss, so Ernie Næss basically he wanted to solve the environmental degradation. To solve the environmental degradation, Norwegian philosopher Ernie Næss attempted to explore beyond the well-known conservation. मतलब environment degradation, we always talked about how to protect environment degradation. There is a method, that is conservation. There is a method, that is anti-pollution groups and all. ठीक है? But this Norwegian philosopher, he wanted to solve environmental degradation by going beyond these things. that is going beyond the conservation and anti-pollution groups. ठीक है? So we can say that Arne-Naess tried to solve the environmental degradation problem by going beyond the conservation and anti-pollution, conservation and anti-pollution groups, in 1970s. So he has come up with this in 1970s. And we can say that Arne-Naess is more interested in how people fit in nature. मतलब Arne-Naess जो है, he is more interested in how people fit into nature. ठीक है? And then he distinguishes ecologism into two. That is, one is shallow and the other one is deep. ये जो shallow ecologism है, it describes the stance that environmental protection should only be done to the extent it serves human interest. मतलब shallow ecologism, ठीक है? shallow ecologism में लिख लो, describes the stance that environmental protection should only be done to the extent environmental protection should only be done to the extent that it serves the human interest. ठीक है? That it serves the human interest. और दूसरा क्या है? डीप ecologism. It is of the stance that ठीक है, डीप इकोलॉजिज्म में क्या है? It is of the stance that people need to fundamentally alter how they interact with nature. People need to fundamentally alter how they interact with nature or natural world. ठीक है. So if we go by the answer, then the answer is both statement 1 and statement 2 are right. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are right. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. Next question is, again, it's with regard to liberal democracy. Again, it's with regard to liberal democracy. Which of the following principles are correct with regard to liberal democracy? देखो, अभी मैंने आपको liberal democracy के बारे में बताया था. ठीक है, just now I said you about liberal democracy. So I need not again and again tell it. Yes, it's a government by consent because it's a representative government. So government by consent है. Public accountability है. Why? Because they wanted to make, मतलब liberal democracy was nothing else but it wanted to make the government, the governor accountable to the governed. Suitable for socialism nahi, constitutional government. That is right. So 1, 2 and 4. This is the right answer, A. Okay, not going into much of discussion with that. Then consider the following. Consider the following. Now this is nothing else. देखो social, यहाँ पे याद रखना, socialism जो है, it's a counter ideology to liberalism. So that's why I did it wrong. Now again we are talking about socialism here. Socialism stands for equality. Yes, it talks about an egalitarian society, socialism. ठीक है. Plus socialism stands for the collection of private property. Socialism stands for elimination of competition. Socialism aims at the elimination of capitalism. देखो, we can say that the word socialism, it was first used in the West, and that too in the early 19th century by Saint Simon. ठीक है, याद रखना, socialism used first by Saint Simon. ठीक है, used first by Saint Simon in early 19th century. ठीक है, and socialism जो है, it's nothing else but it's a socio-economic philosophy. It's a socio-economic philosophy. Socio-economic philosophy means it's trying to talk about society and also about the economy. जहां पे बोला जाता है there must be equality when it comes to income and when it comes to distribution of resources and benefits and all. Plus socialism जो है, I can say you that it symbolizes morals, ethics. ठीक है, morals को symbolize करता है, ethics को, then social cooperation. It also symbolizes upliftment of poor section. जो पुअर सेक्शन है सोसाइटी का, उनका अपलिफ्टमेंट होता है. क्लासलेस सोसाइटी, क्लासलेस सोसाइटी को भी प्रेजेंट करता है. प्लस इट टॉक्स अबाउट liberty, equality, पैटर्निटी, ठीक है, ये सब एंड ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म, that is end of private property, and they say that everything, ठीक है, it's मतलब जो भी है, it's not private property, it's the property of the state. So the first thing is that socialism stands for equality. Yes, we are right with that yes, socialism, it stands for equality. ये सही है कि socialism तुम्हारा equality को stand करता है. That is right. ठीक है. The first thing is right. Then second one is socialism stands for the collection of private property. Now socialism stands for the collection of private property का मतलब ये हो गया कि collective ownership की बात करता है. Yes, collection of private property means collective ownership. That is also right. कि socialism, it's talking about what? It's talking about collective ownership. And when it's talking about collective ownership, that is elimination of private property. Third, socialism stands for elimination of competition. ठीक है, that is right. Then socialism aims at the elimination of capitalism. ठीक है. So now tell me which of the options is right. It's 1, 3 and 4. ठीक है, मतलब देखो कलेक्शन ऑफ प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी का मतलब यहां पे सोशलिज्म आर्ग्यूज फॉर collective ownership, that is elimination of private property, but here it says that socialism stands for collection of private property. गलत. ठीक है, so the answer 1, 3 and 4. B is the right answer. 1, 3 and 4. B part. Now I should not tell you again and again ये इको-फेमिनिज्म क्या है. इको-फेमिनिज्म जो है, we all know it evolved around the West, and in the late 1970s it evolved, early 1980s भी हुआ, ठीक है, and all. And this eco-feminism as a word, it's coined by Francois d'Orboin. Francois d'Orboin. और ये था 1974 में, ठीक है, 1974. और इको फेमिनिज्म जो है, इट्स बेसिकली टॉकिंग अबाउट जेंडर इक्वालिटी. पहले भी जो पहले हम लोगों ने किया था उसमें ऑलरेडी आई हैव सेड यू. ठीक है, जेंडर इक्वालिटी की बात हो रही है. Then consider the following about post-modernism. Once again, post-modernism आ गया भाई. अब post-modernism जो है, it's मतलब it's a concept with rejects मतलब the principle of binary opposition. ठीक है, ये basically रिजेक्ट कर रहा है द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ बाइनरी ऑपोजिशन, दैट इज द स्टेबिलिटी ऑफ आइडेंटिटी, हायरार्की, ठीक है, ये सब चीज. So here postmodernism is a reaction against traditionalism. Postmodernism recognizes pluralism, ठीक है. Postmodernism criticizes meta narratives and postmodernism criticizes local narratives. यहां पे मेटा नैरेटिव्स का मतलब होता है जैसे लाइक कैपिटलिज्म, ठीक है. मेटा नैरेटिव्स आर लाइक कैपिटलिज्म, ठीक है. एंड फर्स्ट वन, इट्स अ रिएक्शन अगेंस्ट ट्रेडिशनलिज्म, दैट इज राइट. ठीक है, मतलब ये बेसिकली एज ऑफ एनलाइटनमेंट के अगेन मतलब वो है. सो द आंसर इज ए एंड सी. नहीं, एक मिनट, द आंसर विल बी सॉरी, इट्स बी एंड सी, दैट इट रिकॉग्नाइजेस प्लूरलिज्म एंड मेटा नैरेटिव्स. Now this is a very easy one, need not explain it. Which theory of right claims that rights are inalienable? Inalienable means which cannot be taken away from you. ठीक है, and they are inherent and prior to society and state. It's the theory of natural rights. और theory of natural rights में क्या था? Life, liberty and property. ठीक है, so the answer is life, liberty and property. That is the theory of natural rights. Next one, what does the idea of positive liberty means? देखो, positive liberty basically it's synonymous to freedom, but यहां पे positive liberty है, negative liberty भी है, but positive liberty. और लिबर्टी का मतलब क्या होता है? फ्रीडम फ्रॉम रेस्ट्रेंट्स, फ्रीडम फ्रॉम रेस्ट्रेंट्स, और यू कैन से एब्सेंस ऑफ रेस्ट्रेंट्स. ठीक है, तो यहां पे व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट लिबर्टी, तो इज़िया बर्लिन ने एक बुक लिखा था, टू लिबर्टी कॉन्सेप्ट्स. ठीक है, दिस इज अ बुक बाय इज़िया बर्लिन, टू लिबर्टी कॉन्सेप्ट्स, एंड इन दिस he puts forward positive liberty and negative liberty. Positive liberty क्या होता है? Positive liberty is nothing else but it's freedom from external restraints. Freedom from external restraints on one's action. Freedom from external restraints on one's action. And the second one is negative liberty. And what is this negative liberty? It is nothing else but it is absence of outside intervention. Absence of outside intervention. Or positive liberty में we can say it needs state intervention. बर्ली ने कहा पॉजिटिव लिबर्टी में इट नीड्स स्टेट इंटरवेंशन. व्हाई? फॉर द रियलाइजेशन ऑफ द ट्रू कैपेबिलिटी ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल. नीड्स स्टेट इंटरवेंशन फॉर रियलाइजेशन ऑफ ट्रू कैपेबिलिटी ऑफ इंडिविजुअल. इंडिविजुअल के ट्रू कैपेबिलिटी के लिए चाहिए. सो द स्टेट हैज द राइट टू इंटरवेन इन द होप ऑफ मेकिंग पीपल्स लाइफ मोर फुलफिलिंग. सेकेंड, people should just get out there and do whatever they want. Only self-confident people, ठीक है, only self-confident people can be free. Freedom means absence of constraints deliberately imposed by other people. तो positive liberty क्या है? Freedom from external restraints on one's action. So the answer is A. So the right answer is A, because the state has the right to intervene. मैंने बोला ना, the state intervention for realization. मतलब state का intervention जरूरी है so that people are able to realize their true capability. So the state intervention for making people's life more fulfilling. ठीक है? That is what. And this is negative liberty. चलो, once again match the following comes. ठीक है? ठीक है? Next one is egalitarian. Now egalitarian, we all know that 1971, it's with regard to John Rawls' egalitarianism, egalitarian. We all know that 1971, John Rawls in his book The Theory of Justice, याद रखना 1971, Theory of Justice. This was by Rawls. ठीक है, जॉन रॉल्स ने 1971 में Theory of Justice लिखा था. And this Theory of Justice, it systematically outlined justice as fairness. ठीक है, इसके अलावा we can also say that the idea of justice as given by Rawls 1990 मतलब 3 में political liberalism था, then the law of the people था. These all are the ideas of justice. So here egalitarian is with John Rawls. Then comes libertarian. Now this libertarian, it is something which is with regard to, you can say, Robert Nozick. Popular sovereignty is Rousseau, and pluralist theory of democracy is Karl Mannheim. ठीक है. So the answer is A का 3, B is A is 2, B is 3, C 1, this one. Now this is the passage. Now here it says political theory is the study of political ideas and values. Political theory is the study of political ideas and values like justice, power and democracy that we use to describe, understand and assess political practices and institutions. This is what is political theory. कि it is the study of political ideas. ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद ये बोलता है कि political theory occupies a place of preeminence, मतलब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, in the domain of political science. मतलब political theory का जो place है वो preeminent है in the domain of political science. Plus third point it says कि its development is closely interlinked with man's quest for good life. That means as political science, political theory developed, at the same time man's quest for good life was also taking place. So both these developments took place at the same time. Then we also talk about political theory. It deals with the conditions of collective life. Plus it also provides a system of rule to guide social relationship on one hand and studies the evolution, nature, necessity and purpose of government on the other hand. मतलब एक तरफ collective life के बारे में पढ़ता है, दूसरे तरफ we also talk about the system of rule to guide. That means political theory, it also talks about how you should rule and what will be the social relationship. Plus it also studies how the government has evolved, for what purpose, for what is its importance and all. ठीक है. And human perception and nature and all. ठीक है. तो ये paragraph अगर आप read करोगे, and in the same way there are not limited or context bounded, मतलब political science कोई, political theory is not limited or context bounded. Instead its focus is often wide enough to cover world at large. Political theory का जो focus, it's very wide. That means it's a wide concept, मतलब theory. And political theory conceptual framework भी उसमें रहता है, and by which knowledge is synthesized. Different theories have different sort of connection, and as such ये सब आप read करोगे. तो let's now start the questions. Which of the following is not related to political theory? It studies value of society, it studies political reality, it examines advantages of political system, it does not study relationship of concepts and political theory. This is the one which is not related to political theory. It does not study the relationship of concepts and political theory. ठीक है. Relationships of concepts and political theory. ठीक है. Next, which of the following is a true statement? Political theory is largely an attempt to seek truth as certain individuals and classes see it. Political theory aims at not only to understand and explain but also to devise ways and means to change society. ठीक है. Political theory has no role to remove imperfections from society. Political theory has no concern with what state ought to be. हाँ जी. True statement is this one, that it not only understand and explain but also to devise ways and means to change society. जब आप वो पूरा पैराग्राफ पढ़ोगे तो you will come to this. देखो, whatever imperfections are there, political theory has to remove it. It is concerned with what the state has to do because it's talking about the evolution of the government, the necessity of it and all. And political theory is largely an attempt to seek truth as certain individual and classes. मतलब कहने का मतलब only this statement B1 that is right. Now, which of the following is incorrect? ठीक है. Political theory not only involves explanation, description and perception regarding the state and political institutions. This is a right one. Theory is systematic knowledge. अभी मैंने बोला था वो systematic knowledge है. ठीक है, right one. Then it describes political reality, prescribes rules and conduct. ठीक है. Political theory develops in isolation. This is wrong. How can political theory develop in isolation? It cannot develop in isolation. It is related to other fields also. ठीक है. So the D part is wrong. Then last one, its political theory only deals with ethical terms, scientific terms, cultural terms, philosophical and empirical terms. Philosophical and empirical terms. Tell me which is the right one. देखो, एथिकल, साइंटिफिक ये सब तो नहीं है. फिलोसॉफिकल एंड एम्पेरिकल वंस. एम्पेरिकल का मतलब होता है वन विच इज बेस्ड ऑन एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन, वन विच इज बेस्ड ऑन प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस. ठीक है, मतलब बेस्ड ऑन एक्सपेरिमेंटेशंस एंड प्रैक्टिकल experience. ठीक है. Next, which of the following is correct about political theory? Which of the following is correct about political theory? Political theory works within the boundaries of a particular country. Political theory is generalized statement about political life. It never depends on concept. It is pure science only. It's correct about political theory. This is right. It's a generalized statement about political life. ठीक है, political life, generalized statement about political life का मतलब हो गया it's a generalized statement about justice, about equality, about democracy. ठीक है, यही तो है political life में, equality, just democracy and all, and also power. ठीक है. Which of the following statement is true? No rights can be given to a man against the social interest. Grant of rights has no concern with social interest. Rights can have anti-social character. Rights are selfish claims. देखो, बेसिकली ये जो डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ नेचुरल राइट्स था ये अर्ली 19th सेंचुरी में आया. एंड दिस डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ नेचुरल राइट्स ब्रॉट द आइडिया ऑफ राइट्स. दैट मीन्स द आइडिया ऑफ राइट्स वाज ब्रॉट ड्यू टू द डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ नेचुरल राइट्स विच केम अप इन अर्ली 19th सेंचुरी. और बोला यह जाता है कि राइट्स जो होते हैं वो लेजिटिमेट एक्सपेक्टेशंस होते हैं. लेजिटिमेट इन द सेंस लीगल एक्सपेक्टेशंस होते हैं. And we have seen that philosophers like T.H. Green, they have defined rights in the context of idealism. ठीक है, तो यहां पे जो ग्रांट्स ऑफ राइट्स बोला जाता है यहां पे कि ग्रांट्स ऑफ राइट्स हैज नो कंसर्न विद सोशल इंटरेस्ट, दिस इज रॉन्ग. इट हैज कंसर्न विद सोशल इंटरेस्ट. ग्रांट्स ऑफ राइट्स जो होते हैं दे हैव कंसर्न विद सोशल ये. प्लस राइट्स हैव एंटी सोशल कैरेक्टर, गलत. राइट्स जो होते हैं दे हैव सोशल कैरेक्टर. ठीक है, दे कैन नॉट हैव एंटी सोशल कैरेक्टर. एंड द थर्ड वन इज दैट नो, फर्स्ट वन देख लो, नो राइट्स कैन बी गिवन टू अ मैन अगेंस्ट द सोशल इंटरेस्ट. ठीक है, नो राइट्स कैन बी गिवन टू अ मैन अगेंस्ट द सोशल इंटरेस्ट. दैट मीन्स यहां पे राइट्स जो है वो सेल्फिश क्लेम्स भी बोला गया है. सो इफ वी लुक एट द आंसर, देन कभी भी राइट्स जो होते हैं वो सेल्फिश क्लेम्स नहीं हो सकते. ये तो मानते हो ना, दे आर नॉट सेल्फिश क्लेम्स, दे आर द लेजिटिमेट क्लेम्स. ठीक है, वो लेजिटिमेट है. तो इसीलिए सेल्फिश क्लेम्स नहीं हो सकता है. So if we say which one is the following state, so no right can be given to a man against the social interest because तुम्हारा ये legitimate वो होता है. मतलब अगर मैन परफॉर्म नहीं करेगा, it means a man cannot claim या demand rights if he does not perform duties. ठीक है, so the first one is right. Then comes in which aspect of modern liberalism not believe? Social liberalism, positive freedom, minimal state, and cradle to grave welfare. देखो, बोला जाता है कि मॉडर्न लिबरलिज्म जो है वो मिनिमल स्टेट पे बिलीव नहीं करता है. सबसे पहला सोशल लिबरलिज्म है. ठीक है, सोशल लिबरलिज्म का मतलब ये हो गया कि मॉडर्न लिबरलिज्म इट बिलीव्स इन दिस. व्हाई डज इट बिलीव इन सोशल लिबरलिज्म? बिकॉज सोशल लिबरलिज्म इट emphasizes the need for social justice, need for social justice, equal opportunity, and protection of individual freedom. ठीक है, तो ये सोशल लिबरलिज्म इसी पे बिलीव करता है. ठीक है, मॉडर्न लिबरल, ये पॉजिटिव लिबरलिज्म क्या है? व्हेन आई से पॉजिटिव फ्रीडम, now I can say that modern liberalism it also believes in positive freedom. Why? Because it focuses on providing individual with all the necessary resources and opportunities. मतलब modern liberalism, it is favoring positive freedom because it focuses on providing individual with all the necessary resources and opportunities to fulfill their potential and lead a good life. तो इसीलिए मॉडर्न लिबरलिज्म पॉजिटिव फ्रीडम को भी सपोर्ट करता है. नाउ व्हाट अबाउट क्रैडल टू ग्रेव वेलफेयर? क्रैडल टू ग्रेव वेलफेयर का मतलब यह है कि प्रोवाइडिंग सोशल वेलफेयर प्रोग्राम्स. इसका मतलब क्या है? प्रोवाइडिंग सोशल वेलफेयर programs. That is modern liberalism. It also favors this concept of cradle to grave welfare because this means providing social welfare programs and also support to old age. ठीक है, ओल्ड एज को सपोर्ट करना. ठीक है, प्लस एंड एंश्योर बेसिक स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लाइफ. बेसिक स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लाइफ को भी एंश्योर करना होता है. तो इसीलिए मिनिमल स्टेट इज द रॉन्ग आंसर. इट डज नॉट बिलीव इन दैट मिनिमल स्टेट. ठीक है, चलो. वी आर विटनेसिंग द एंड ऑफ हिस्ट्री एज सच. दैट इज द एंड पॉइंट ऑफ मैनकाइंड्स आइडियोलॉजी, इवोल्यूशन एंड द यूनिवर्सलाइजेशन ऑफ वेस्टर्न लिबरल डेमोक्रेसी एज द फाइनल फॉर्म ऑफ ह्यूमन गवर्नमेंट. Whose thesis is this? Now, this is a thesis which was given by very famous Francis Fukuyama. ठीक है, ये थीसिस है फ्रांसिस फुकुयामा का. ठीक है, it's the Francis Fukuyama end of history. End of history. 1989 की बात है. You all know 1989 में क्या हुआ? The collapse of the bipolar world, the collapse of the Soviet Union. So that at the height of the collapse and in the mood of optimism, Francis Fukuyama, he came up with a famous piece, The End of History. ठीक है, and he said that socialism is the biggest danger to liberalism. ठीक है, and he considered it as a rival principle. ठीक है, so we are witnessing the end as such. That is the end point of mankind's ideological revolution. तो यही वाला है. ठीक है, ठीक है. So what he is trying to say that in the end it is political and social liberalism that won. ठीक है, in the end it's political and social liberalism that won. It is the Western idea, it is the Western philosophy that has trimmed over socialism. तो यही है तुम्हारा इसका पूरा फ्रांसिस फुकुयामा का. ठीक है. Then how was early liberalism characterized by तुम्हारा मैकपर्सन, CB मैकपर्सन? Early liberalism. Now we all know that liberalism is a, फिर से वही बात कह रहा हूं, जहां फ्रीडम मिलता है, सब कुछ हो रहा है, इंडिविजुअल फ्रीडम है, सब कुछ है. नाउ CB मैकपर्सन का एक वर्क था, दैट वाज द पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी ऑफ पॉजिटिव इंडिविजुअलिज्म. पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी ऑफ पॉजिटिव individualism. Political theory of possessive individualism. This was a work of CB मैकपर्सन. ठीक है? That is from Hobbes to Locke. और ये जो थीसिस था पॉजिटिव लिबरलिज्म का, ठीक है, दिस थीसिस ऑफ पॉजिटिव लिबरलिज्म was that a person is seen as the only proprietor of their talents. ठीक है, मतलब person is seen as the only owner of their talent. मतलब we are the only owners of our talent and owns nothing to the society. And owns nothing to the society. ठीक है, ये पॉजिटिव लिबरलिज्म है. That is, this positive liberalism, it was articulated, मतलब हॉब्स से लॉकी तक, they all articulated positive liberalism. And positive liberalism ये बोलता है कि पॉजिटिव लिबरलिज्म ये बोलता है कि द पर्सन इज सीन एज द ओनली ओनर ऑफ द टैलेंट एंड ही ओन्स नथिंग टू द सोसाइटी. दैट इज व्हाट पॉजिटिव लिबरलिज्म सेज. ठीक है, सो यहां पे अगर हम बोल सकते हैं हाउ वाज अर्ली लिबरलिज्म कैरेक्टराइज्ड, इट वाज कैरेक्टराइज्ड बाय पॉजिटिव लिबरलिज्म. ठीक है, then who has been the most prominent among the Chicago school economists? Chicago school economists में most prominent कौन था? One is Milton Friedman, he is one of it. और उसके साथ Stigler, his name was Milton Friedman, and George Stigler. George Stigler. ठीक है, इट्स Stigler. George Stigler. ये दोनों मोस्ट प्रोमिनेंट अमंग द शिकागो स्कूल ऑफ इकोनॉमिस्ट है. और ये जो शिकागो स्कूल ऑफ इकोनॉमिस्ट थे, दे रिजेक्टेड द केन्जियन इकोनॉमिक्स. दे रिजेक्टेड केन्जियन इकोनॉमिक्स. जो केन्जियन स्कूल ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स है उसको ये लोग रिजेक्ट करते थे. ठीक है, गॉट इट. देन हु अमंग द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट द सपोर्टर ऑफ पॉजिटिव लिबर्टी. अभी फिर से पॉजिटिव लिबर्टी बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है, हमें पता है कि टू कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ लिबर्टी में बर्लिन के किताब में पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव लिबर्टी था. ठीक है, नाउ पॉजिटिव लिबर्टी के लिए we can say Green, he belongs to positive liberty. Harold Lasky also belongs to positive liberty. And John Locke also belongs to positive liberty. जो नहीं belong करता है वो है तुम्हारा एक मिनट See, positive liberty में we can say that Locke, yes, Green and Harold are there, but Locke and Bentham are not there. ठीक है, Locke and Bentham, they are not the supporters of this. यहां पे Hobson भी लगा सकते हो. So it's B and D, Locke and Bentham. ठीक है. And what is the central belief of conservatism? मैंने आपको बताया था conservatism is nothing else but it is back to the traditional institutions. ठीक है, back to the traditional institutions. So yes, conservatism जो है it aims to what? जो भी established social structure है, ठीक है, it supports established social structures. ठीक है, जो भी established social structures है and practices, उसको ये support करते हैं. ठीक है. So when I say the central belief, it's tradition. Yes, tradition जो है वो है ही. Hierarchy and authority ये भी है. So A and B is the right answer. Social Darwinism का मतलब ये है कि survival of the fittest. Social Darwinism का मतलब था survival of the fittest. और social liberalism तो आपको मैंने बता ही दिया, social justice and all. ठीक है. So it's A and B. ठीक है. So this set is also finished. इसमें उतने ज्यादा मुश्किल नहीं था. Most of the questions they were with related to social liberalism and all. So once again, one more set of PYQs, one more round of PYQs is over with explanation to each and every question. ठीक है. Now the concepts which were repeated, yes, we did not do the explanation for that, but still we had a lot of explanations going on. So 25 questions set, one more we have done. So thank you all for having this, attending this class and being a part of this course, and meet you again with one more set or one more round of Unit 1 PYQs. Thank you.